Hi, my name is Madison, and I'm interviewing Colonel Bill Cameron. And what branch of the service did you serve?
I was in the Army Signal Corps.
What did you first enlist?
Well, I was commissioned, and I was commissioned when I graduated from college in 1967. And I went on active duty on 5 July 1967.
How long did you serve?
27 years, from 67 to 1994.
Why did you enlist in the military?
Well, I joined ROTC when I was in college. And between my sophomore and junior year, you had to make a decision whether or not you wanted to go to advanced ROTC and go in, and I decided that's what I wanted to do. Well, the medallion up top is just the Army crest, and this is brass, U.S., and the flags are for the Army Signal Corps, and that's a colonel's insignia. And then the decorations, there's the ones on across the bottom are campaign ribbons. You know, that's from Kuwait, that's from Saudi Arabia, that's Vietnam, and then these are Army campaign ribbons. And then these are Army medals, and they kind of go up in importance. This is a Bronze Star for merit, and I've got 3 of those, and that's the Legion of Merit, and I have 2 of those. But it's a long career, and so those are kind of the things that
Did you have any interesting or funny stories that stand out to you about your service?
So lots of stories. we could be here a long time to talk about lots of stories. But I guess probably the most interesting story was I got shot down over Laos, and I landed in the top of a tree.
Wow.
And I couldn't get out of the tree. And an Air Force helicopter came along and picked me up out of the tree. That was my most interesting story.
Was it very scary?
I wasn't exactly thrilled about it. Yes, it was very scary.
How about you? Okay, are you proud of your military service?
I'm very proud.
So cool.
This has a microphone in it. This is an oxygen mask. And of course
That is cool.
they plug that into the airplane and then plug that into a receptacle, a wire, so that you can speak and hear. Of course, these are headphones. And it's broken now, but there's a what's up in there? I can't get out.
The visor came down.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's very cool.
It's like a visor that comes down. So when it's this on, it covers you up completely.
Wow.
Like sunglasses.
So that's an important feature of the mask, because if you had to bail out or something like that, it would help protect you.
That is really cool. Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah,
Here, hold it up beside you.
but that keeps you from.
Look at Sammy.
You get bounced around quite a bit in the cockpit, so
This is so cool.
that's a Silver Star, Distinguished Flying Cross. That's a Commendation Medal. That's the Air Medal with 10 clusters. That's a Commendation Medal. Purple Heart. That's for marksmanship, and that's for serving in Vietnam.
Wow.
And of course my pilot wings and paratrooper wings.
I'm interviewing my great-grandpa, Don McCarroll. And what branch did he serve in?
The Naval Reserve.
How long did he serve?
2 years.
When you first enlist?
I can't remember.
Well, he was 18, so that'd be 43 is what we thought. So, I mean, if you were 18, it would have been 1943. That's what we thought, but
Yeah. Okay. That sounds about right. Probably 1943.
Okay.
Why did you enlist in the military?
Well, it was either enlist or be drafted because everybody.
We are here with a very special Marine, my cousin Jacob Scoggins. Because Jacob is on active duty, I was not able to sit down with him in person. So we are working with a modern technology called Skype. Isn't that awesome? Okay, Jacob, I call you cousin, but what's your rank?
Corporal.
When did you first enlist?
I enlisted July 5th, 2009.
Why did you enlist?
That's the question for everybody nowadays. I guess my reason for joining the military is my whole family has been in the military at one point in time, so I want to continue the legacy. And I've pretty much been fascinated with how the military, what the military is for the majority of my childhood, so I wanted to fulfill that.
My mom tells me you want to be a Marine most of your life. Is that true?
Yeah, that's about right. I wanted to be a Marine for a good, since I was about 6 or 7 years old, I wanted to be in the military. And then maybe about beginning of high school, I decided I wanted to go into the Marines. I wanted to be the biggest and the best.
Are you proud that you accomplished your lifelong dream?
Yes.
What was boot camp like?
Terrible.
What are some of your duties?
My duties, as of right now, I am a tactical switchboard operator. I pretty much, in layman's terms, am in control of all your phones. If, let's say, you were in a base or a small city, so to say, I would be the one that would be called to bring out my team to set up your phone numbers, give you a phone, give him a phone, and making sure phones work. That's what it is.
Hi, I'm here with Mr. Garrett Langford to do my veteran interview. What branch of service did you serve in?
I was in the Marine Corps.
When did you first enlist?
I enlisted in January of 1994.
How long did you serve?
Let's see, I served about 5 years as active duty, and then a couple of years after that.
Okay. Did you serve during a war?
Yes, I did.
Which war?
Served during Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Did you see combat?
Yes.
Were you on the front lines?
Yes.
What were your duties?
I was mainly in charge of the training Iraqi security forces to train their police officers, and then I also was in charge of coordinating what they call a Combat Operations Center, where information comes in and you try and keep track of where all the units are and where all the Marines are and what they're doing. So that's what I did.
What countries did you see during your time in the military?
I got to travel quite a bit. I was fortunate enough to go to Spain, Greece, Bosnia. I went to Croatia, a little small country called Tunisia, which is near Egypt.
lot of countries.
A lot of countries.
Hi, and today I'm going to interview Lieutenant General Cotton Winton, a retired U.S. Army veteran.
Okay.
In what branch of the service did you serve?
I was in the Army.
When did you first enlist?
Well, I was drafted. I didn't enlist, and I went into the Army in 1955, and I retired in 1970. That was almost 35 years that I was in the Army. And I held almost every position that the Army has.
How long did you serve?
For 35 years.
Why did you enlist in the military?
I was drafted, and in the days in which I was drafted, there were a lot of young men who were drafted, and many young men could not finish their schooling until they had their draft commitments out of the way. So everybody wanted to go ahead and get in the Army and then get out so they go back to school, whatever they intended to do.
Did you serve during the war?
Yes, I served during the war.
If so, which war?
The Vietnam War. I was in the Vietnam War for about 24 months.
Awesome. In what battle or battles did you fight?
Well, I fought in more than one. I fought in the battles of the Mekong Delta and also battles of the Quang Tri and Da Nang DMZ area, which was up kind of in North Vietnam. So I served in both the very southern part of the country and the very northern part.
What do you think it is now?
Well, I think it's outstanding now. I think the recognition of what our soldiers do for us and the liberties that they help provide for us is well documented, and I believe all of them are well rewarded for the things that they do now, including medals and money and other things that everybody else has.
How has it changed over your lifetime?
Well, I think we're probably more of a citizen soldier today than we were when I first went in the Army. When I first went in the Army was kind of a caste group of men, primarily men. There were a few women, but primarily men who lived and thrived and did the things that they were supposed to do, kind of in a group though, where they did have a lot of mixing with the civilian sector. Today that's a little different. Our soldiers today mix with our civilian population from the very beginning when they enter the Army, and that continues for the entire time they're in the Army. So I think the grouping of soldiers together today is more extensive than it was, say, 40 or 50 years ago.
Thank you.
Are you through? Well, good. That was super.